Welcome to the Fast Break, the fastest 15 minutes in the NBA. No, you are not tuning in halfway through. We are starting with the Fast Break tonight on the Morgan You Know Podcasting Network. We are TMYK Live. Rod Morgan, the Mr. Morgan You Know, is here. Rod, how are you tonight?
I am wonderful, Jimmy. I love that we just had to open our live broadcast with someone else saying hello to the people other than me. That doesn't happen very often, but it's the holiday season. You have to be ready to roll with the punches. Let's go.
Speaking of the holiday season, we have someone who actually met Santa Claus, held Santa as a child, Chris King.
How about our Indiana Pacers, all right? Winners of 4 of our last 6, no longer cellar dwellers, back in competition, maybe be able to get into a play-in game in the week East.
Jimmy, I have a question here.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
Jimmy,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, this is a procedural question. I have to go a procedural question before we get into the NBA. Since this is now the open of the show, do you have to spring a cold open question on Chris and I? It's just a procedural question here, Your Honor.
I think I do. So I'm going to ask the following question.
Jimmy thinking on his feet. I love it.
What is the worst date you have been on? The worst date you have been on. Okay.
Ooh. You know
and
what, Jimmy?
I will start. I'll
Okay.
start just to give you a minute. Was it college? Ball State University. It's got everything you need. Chirp, chirp, all that good stuff. Went on a date with a nice young lady. We went out with her friends. Apparently the night before, she had gone out and gotten extremely wasted, really drunk, very bad. And it was 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, whenever it was. She was still not feeling good. So we went to this bar. She was sitting there. I was sitting there. We were all with her friends. She looked like hell. I looked like, what am I doing here? One of her guy friends came up to me and goes, "Here, dude, you need this beer." Oh, needless to say, that didn't go very well after that. So that is, I would say that would probably be the worst date I was on. So nothing too bad, but.
Do we think she woke up, say, like 4 that afternoon, maybe? Do we think she woke up at 5, like an hour before she met you? What do we think here?
In my mind, I think she probably went to bed at about 4 or 5 a.m. And then, woke up at about 4 or 5 p.m. And it's like, oh, crap, I guess I'll go.
Okay, how much? Last question, and again, I don't want to give away too much here, but how much effort do you think she put into dolling herself up, since it was clear that she was playing at less than 100%?
I will give her credit. She did a pretty decent job with that. She did a good job with that. But yeah, she wasn't like in her pajamas or anything. That would be great.
So she did at least still put in some type of an effort. She knew she was going out on a date, and she still at least to try to keep up some sort of date type appearance.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. You know, a bar date type appearance was okay. Yeah.
All right. So,
All
Jimmy,
right, Rod,
I was
so
actually
what do you think?
I was thinking about this the other day just randomly, right? Because when you're out working at the golf course, and this was actually, clearly it was weeks back now, but you just, your mind wanders from time to time, right? And I was trying to think back, because I've been with my lovely wife for a long time now, Jimmy, just like you have been with your lovely wife for a long time. And I was trying to think back to one of the last dates I actually was on, right? And my mind just then immediately floated to some of the terrible things that I did as dates when I was just kind of fresh out of high school and not quite into college, right? That time where you technically had to go on dates. You had to be the one to finance it. And one time I took a coworker to, are you ready for it? The back-to-back. We're talking high class here, gentlemen. The back-to-back. Arby's putt-putt. Boom. I'm talking meal was Arby's. Get yourself a roast beef and cheese, maybe a potato cake. They got the Jamocha shakes because I heard she likes coffee. So I thought this is perfect, right? Putt-putt, literally almost across the way from Arby's. Knocked it out. 2.5 hours later, dropped her off back at home. Needless to say, not very impressed with my decision to go all out with Arby's and putt-putt for the day.
Okay, so now it's my turn for some questions. When this was like 99. So Seinfeld was on. So you did the David Putty move, right?
Well, I don't know that I was
Arby's?
I don't know that I was necessarily trying to emulate Putty, because clearly as a Seinfeld fan,
it's his move.
But that's what I mean. I think in my head, I thought that Arby's was better than McDonald's, right? I thought it was better than McDonald's or Burger King.
So those are the other options.
Listen, Jimmy, I'm working on a shoestring budget at this point. I was working at a video store, my man. All right. So we're working on a shoestring budget at this point. I have money that I'd like to spend on other things other than this date, clearly, because we all have our priorities straight when we're that age, right? So it was Arby's and putt-putt. Also, I made sure that I wanted putt-putt, right? Heaven forbid that I would just not win, right? When I would just absolutely dominate it and probably look like a jerk too after spending no money.
So he just didn't come over to Mancino's and say, "Hey, Jimmy, can I get some pizza?" Because I think I was working there at the time. So, could have been done. Pizza's fine. Chris, Arby's, McDonald's, or Burger King, you have to take a date to one of them. Where are you taking them?
There we go.
I'm taking them to Fazoli's. They have free all-you-can-eat breadsticks. I know this. I know this because I took a date there once. I was doing the Dave Chappelle move from How High before he did it. All right, you're talking about a shoestring budget, a couple Cokes, and all-you-can-eat free breadsticks, and then walk around the mall. Right? That was probably the worst date I ever took somebody on. That's not my worst date, though.
So wait a minute. What reason did you give for walking around the mall?
Sorry. I apologize. You are a good human being. You took her. She got some protein.
Yeah. What reason did you give for walking around the mall? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, just forget that you went to Fazoli's and didn't buy her anything else. But what reason did you then give for going to walk around the mall?
Girls like to be at the mall.
No, Rod.
This is the 80s, buddy.
No, this is Chris. Old people walk around the mall. That's why he took her there.
Good point, Jimmy. So this date was recent then. This was a recent bad date for the old man.
Yesterday.
Oh, that's the best cold open question yet, Jimmy Jam. That's a great open to the fast break right there.
All right, Chris, I got to find. Okay, so obviously we know it's her worst first date ever.
Sure. We still dated for a while. Okay.
Talk about Riz. Look out.
He's a mother PIM. Anyway.
The worst date I went on was this was back in high school, so you know how long ago that was, right? Moving pictures just became a thing. So we decided to do a group date type thing, and it was kind of a setup with this girl. Very lovely, very cute girl. Still remember her today, right? But she was a new girl to the school, kind of got set up. But like, we went and saw In the Mouth of Madness. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie. Probably not a good date. Yeah, not a good date movie. Really weird. But went as a group, and I think she said a total of 4 words to me the entire night. So it was not fun. I didn't like most of the people in the group anyway, but say la vie.
I'd have been that person. You take me to a movie like In the Mouth of Madness and I don't know everybody that well. I'd be like, what is going on here? What are they going to do to me when we leave this movie?
That's okay. Good job. Fazoli's and breadsticks. We will remember that forever, Chris, and I appreciate you for that.
You're very welcome.
I also appreciate your fandom for the Indiana Pacers, who are winning despite, should they be, right? So, Chris, how excited are you for these Pacers to get maybe a chance at the play-in?
If we have a chance in the playoffs, and we have a chance to keep going in the playoffs, all right? Once you get there, you keep winning, you keep going, all right? And as a fan, that's what we should hope for. The chance. We get a chance to win. We get a chance to play in. That's an opportunity. That means our team, our players are playing hard. They're giving it their full effort, and that's what we want to see as fans. We don't want to see people giving up, taking days off. You know, coaches playing the second team as the first team or any of that BS, right? We want to see our players fight every single game, not enjoy losing, not be happy with something subpar, but to fight every single game because you play to win the game.
So, Chris, are you then pro Halliburton coming back early and helping the Pacers go? Because Jason Tatum, he's going to come back. We all know that. He might be back tomorrow for all we know. I'm joking, Chris. I know he's not coming back early. It's
right.
Okay. He got it. He's a wimp.
I'm not out here saying when someone has an injury that they should be forcing themselves to come back before they're ready. Because I remember an IU team back in the 90s where we had a real opportunity to win the championship, and a guy who had broken his leg earlier in the year rushed to get back, and it ended up hurting us more than anything. So like sometimes if you're trying to rush back from a significant injury, it doesn't always work out. And if I was Jason Tatum, I would just chill, right? I don't think they're not missing you that much right now.
So, Rod, that's kind of where I want to go to next. The Celtics have won 5 in a row and are third in the East right now. Jason Tatum is doing everything you can right now, basketball-wise. Obviously, playing in the upbeat NBA that it is going to be a little different. Do you think the Celtics are going to be in a position where he actually has to make that decision if he should come back or not?
Yes. Because Joe Mazzulla is a psycho. Joe Mazzulla is an absolute psychopath who refuses to lose, who refuses to even have his team take a few possessions off. Like, Anthony Simons was brought into this team in place of a veteran like Drew Holiday. He's making multiple $1 million, $22 million, I believe. And Joe Mazzulla is just like, nope, sorry. That guy blew by you right there. You're not playing. And so he sits over on the bench, and Minot plays, and Nemi plays, and Pritchard plays, and the spine of this championship team is still there. And I must admit, I thought the Celtics would be a little bit better than everybody thought, but they're even impressing me. And I got to give a lot of credit to Mazzulla, because he's changed a little bit of how he plays on defense, right? The team's running a little bit more. They're still shooting a lot of threes, but they're actually running and playing a little bit faster while still shooting the threes. So they can't defend to save their lives or rebound, which will kill them in the playoffs, but it's an awful lot of fun right now.
Gotcha. I really think the Celtics are going to have to make a very difficult decision, because they're going to be, I think, top 5 when he could possibly come back. If there's any time to get to the finals in the East, it's this year, because it's so open. But we have a juggernaut, Rod. The 24-1 Oklahoma City Thunder. Shea has only played in a handful of fourth quarters. They are winning at an amazing pace. Should we just stop playing now?
No, we shouldn't just stop playing now, Jimmy. What we should do is have you go ahead and roll my music, because I have a Rod Damnation that's related to the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the season's over, right? The season's over. The Thunder are 23-1. They're absolutely unbeatable. The Thunder won the championship last year. The Thunder are going to win the in-season tournament. The Thunder are going to win the championship this year. The Thunder are going to get a top 5 lottery pick from the Sixers. The Thunder are going to get a lottery pick from the Utah Jazz, and it's just over. The NBA is just over. None of us should just play basketball for any remainder of times. Every other franchise in the NBA should just go ahead and lock their doors, shut it down, close it. There's no reason for anybody else to compete for awards, because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is light years behind every other basketball player. There's no coach that should try to compete and come up with a strategy to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, because they're absolutely unbeatable. And not only are they unbeatable, but they have the most genius oracle in the history of basketball sitting in their front office that has set up their contract structure and their draft picks better than anybody else could imagine. And this is a juggernaut that has the league scared. Oh my God, can we please stop? Can we please stop? The Thunder are so stinking boring that we have to fast forward 2.5 years already to have anything to talk about with this team. And I'm sick of it. Honestly, I'm sick of the Thunder already. I was sick of the Thunder last year. I was sick of the Thunder to start this year. I don't find them interesting whatsoever. I don't find them compelling whatsoever. I find their coach a bit annoying. I find Shai Gilgeous-Alexander incredibly annoying. I am bummed out, even though this year has been a great NBA season, because of what the Thunder loom over everything in the NBA right now, and it bums me out.
So we shouldn't stop playing then. You're saying you're not a fan of just giving it to the Thunder. I like that, Rod. Chris, thoughts on the Thunder, and do you share Rod's hatred for the team?
I see them as a rival to the Pacers, since we lost to them in 7 games last year, right? Of course, right? Don't necessarily want them to succeed, but I'm sitting here thinking, what kind of tune Rod would be playing if this was the Boston Celtics that were 23 or 24-1, and everyone was talking about how this could be the greatest season ever, and they had a pretty boring thing, and they had somebody being called an oracle as their GM, right? I think that too many times when we are in the midst of the possibility of something great happening, a lot of people want to try to be a part of it and embrace it maybe a little bit too much. And maybe that's what Rod's feeling. But Rod's turning it completely on its head and not wanting to embrace it at all. I almost did that with LeBron when he came into the league. I didn't want him to succeed. I wanted to deny how good he was, and it took me a while. And I started to realize, like, this is somebody great that we may not see again for a long time, so I have to appreciate it. And I think this may be a situation where you have to appreciate what Oklahoma City has been able to do.
Jimmy, can
Whether
I
or
jump
not
in
they
right there
can-
real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to go to you, Rod. I know you're chomping at the bit here, buddy.
Can I ask for a definition here? Does appreciation of greatness equal entertainment? I'm sorry, because like, did anything during any point of what I said during Rod Damnation attack the character of the Thunder as a great team? I don't think it did. I attacked the character of Thunder as entertaining, and they're not. That's basically what my problem is. I attacked the Thunder for being non-charismatic, which they absolutely are. So, Chris, you could say that I don't appreciate greatness, which I do. Clearly, I love the NBA. I understand history. I just don't find the Thunder entertaining or charismatic.
I don't think he said entertaining or charismatic. I believe your words were annoying, so you can excuse me for being a little bit confused. I just like to fight you, Rod.
And with that, hey Chris, let's talk about some of your hierarchy here. Huh? All right, Chris, it's the Kings hardwood hierarchy. Last week the King was OKC, the Queen the Lakers, the Prince the Rockets, and the Jester the Bulls. Who we got this week?
We know the King's not changing, so we are skipping past the Thunder.
Yeah,
I have a new queen. I'm putting them here because they are, other than the Thunder, they are the strongest team on the road, and I think that is really important in the NBA. They've only lost 2 games on the road. That's the Nuggets. All right, they continue to be a winning team, and I know sometimes you guys hate me for doing this, but this is my hierarchy, and it's what have you done for me lately? And you know what this team has done lately? Nothing but win their last 5 games. That's the Boston Celtics. All right. No one anticipated them to be this competitive. No one anticipated them to be this good, losing their best player, right? They were hoping maybe some people had them in a play-in game in the East, right? But they're looking like they could get home court advantage in the first round right now.
You cannot replace Luke Cornett. You just hope that you can, and you rally the troops together and you move past it, and sometimes things work out for the best, right? We saw it work out for Herman Boone and the guys in South Carolina, and remember the Titans, and it's working out well for Joe Maz and the boys up in Massachusetts. So let's go.
And also, let's not take this Nuggets queen for granted here. Jokic is amazing. Murray's having a great year. Everyone else is hurt. They don't care. They're going to keep winning. We're seeing some greatness there too. I think that's terrific. Speaking of greatness, let's go to the opposite of that, Chris. Who's your Jester?
Well, you know what the Pelicans and the Bulls have in common?
They stink.
They both have lost 7 games in a row. So the Bulls are still the Jester.
Nice. Yeah, they were 5-0 at one point.
Derek was riding high, wasn't he?
Oh,
he was telling us all about it. He was telling us all about it in the group thread when those were the days for Derek. Those were the Halcyon days, and now the Bulls are who we thought they were. Maybe even worse, actually.
Speaking about stupid Derek in the group thread, you know what I hate, Rod? I hate football. I hate football a lot. I hate it so much that we're going to go to Balls and Brew right now, but I'm not hosting. Because I never do. Rod, Balls and Brew, let's do this.
That is right. We did basketball to start with to throw you off a little bit, but our football handicapper is here. So now it is time to talk football. He crunches the numbers. He makes the plays. He knows the refs. He gets angry at coaching decisions. He's our guy. He's Josh Williams. Josh, hello.
What's up, boys? I had a rare 2-0 against the spread last week, so that was nice.
Let's go. But you know what we're going to do? We're not going to talk NFL to start Balls and Brew. We're going to talk college football, baby. We have to weigh in on the absolute wasteland that is college football. All right. I don't want to be the first one to speak here because I don't pay enough attention to the college football overall as a sport. I'm an Irish fan. I will be done with college football now that the Irish are done with playing college football this year. So, Williams, let's go to you here to explain a little bit of the fallout, because I think you kind of tried to warn everybody when you talked about these conference tiebreakers and how that could end up being a problem.
Yeah, I was stupid with the ACC.
Great analysis.
you've got 17 teams in your conference, and the tiebreaker for a 5-way second place is common opponent, where they played two of the same teams. So that was just stupid. If ACC does the right thing and just has Miami in the championship game, then Notre Dame gets in. I have no problem with Miami getting in over Notre Dame. Miami beat Notre Dame, so they can go on and say that they were blindsided by this. If you remember history, they did the exact same thing in 2014 with TCU and Baylor. So yeah, I don't know what to tell them there. And now I would have an issue. I think Notre Dame should be in over Bama. And then if you're one of these SEC bias homers, like, oh, you can't drop a team after they've lost an SEC championship game. Well, how about this? If you're not aware with history, the last 3 years, there's been 16 conference championship losers. Guess what? 15 of them, after they lost the game, dropped at least one spot. The only team that didn't, this year's Alabama team. And that includes undefeated Georgia team a few years ago. They lost an SEC championship game by 3 points. They dropped them all the way to 6. So the committee is treating this Alabama team like it's a Nick Saban Alabama team, and it's far from it. This team is not an Alabama, a Nick Saban team. And so I can't wait. I hope Alabama beats Oklahoma, because I can't wait for the Hoosiers to drop some lead right on that Bama ass in the Rose Bowl.
Hoosiers. Jimmy, let's go to you on this. Williams made it clear there he's not necessarily crying for the Irish. I think I made it clear that I'm probably crying for the Irish just a little bit here. Where do you come down on all this?
The Irish should be in. I think they had the 4th highest chances to win the championship going into the week. I mean, that's ridiculous that you're not putting them in. But also is ridiculous, Rod, is them saying we're not going to a bowl game now. Listen, all right, here, I am a Notre Dame fan. Always have been, always will be, okay? I love Notre Dame. If you don't go to a bowl the season, you cannot be in the tournament the next season. That's what it should be. You cannot be in the tournament if you don't go to the bowl the previous season, if you're bowl eligible. That's ridiculous. Well, not everyone's going to be there. Yeah, no, not everyone's going to be there. But you know what? You got a freshman quarterback that could get some bowl experience, traveling to the bowl, figuring out what goes on, see how long that week is. There's some things you can gain from that. Just taking your ball and going home, I really hated that, and I expected a little bit more. Yeah, you're going to say in 1998, this team did that, this team did that. I don't really care. Everything needs to be changed anyway, but that's where I stand. Notre Dame should be in over Alabama, no question about it. However, they should have also gone to play BYU and beaten them by 60.
Chris, I have a question for you before I let you weigh in on this college football playoff thing. Did Wu-Tang just pop into the podcast and start dropping takes on us, or was that Jimmy here? Because that's a ridiculous Wu-Tang level take that was just dropped on us by Jimmy Jamariska. But Chris, you go ahead and tell us what you think about the college football playoff situation.
It may be a Wu-Tang take. I may be behind it, though, because I'm anti-Bama, right? And I think you need to play the bowl game, all right? Now, I will say this, though. If this is the players voting and like 75% of them are saying, no, I don't want to, I'd rather not risk injury because I'm trying to transfer or whatever, I guess I can't argue if it's the players making the decision. It's that type of world now. I kind of think it has to be the players making the decision, because Notre Dame would have made a lot of money playing in the bowl game. They would have sold a lot of tickets, a lot of merch. They would have got a lot of sponsorship money, and they don't have to share the revenue that they earn from a bowl game with the conference either. So the university lost money. If the players don't want to play, it's hard to force them.
You guys all good here? Is it time for me to have my take here? I'm sorry. I live in the real world of 2025, okay? Where you make big noise. You wield your power. You level your transactional power that you have over everybody and everything. I'm sorry. It happens at the highest level of this country right now. I'm not going to get the least bit mad at Notre Dame for looking college football right in the eye and saying, you just screwed us out of the college football tournament, but you want me to show up at your stupid Pop-Tarts Bowl so you could get decent ratings and feed your network and your sport at the Pop-Tarts Bowl? No. Absolutely not. Notre Dame gained 0 from sullying itself by showing up in the Pop-Tarts Bowl and allowing college football and ESPN to make money off of their name. If they wanted to make money off the Notre Dame name, they should have put them in the damn college football playoff. Notre Dame has absolutely every right in the world to walk away from the Pop-Tarts Bowl, because it's not the first time in Notre Dame's history. If we want to talk about historical context, gentlemen, it's not the first time in Notre Dame's history that they've walked away from a bowl game. So would you guys have this scorching hot Notre Dame doesn't get to play in college football next year? The last time they walked away from a bowl game, I doubt it. Let's calm down.
The last time they walked away from a bowl game, were they like 6-5 or something like that? Then they didn't have a really good season.
They walked away from
different.
a bowl game, Jimmy. Historical evidence.
Yeah, and it wasn't good there neither. Yeah, Williams. Sorry, Rod. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with Rod on this one. Marshall, the Sun Belt champion last year, opted out of their bowl game because they had too many players opt out. So this all started like 7 to 10 years ago when individual players opted out. So remember Jalen Smith, the stud linebacker at Notre Dame, opted out. Leonard Fournette at LSU opted out. Christian McCaffrey from Stanford opted out. It was only a matter of time before whole teams were going to opt out. I mean, and Rod said it there. I mean, give me a break. They didn't opt out of the Fiesta Bowl or the Orange Bowl. It was the Pop-Tarts Bowl, for crying out loud. Freeman went to the team and asked them, and the captain said, let's not play. So I have no issues at all. By the way, I know the kids won't know what I'm talking about here. Unfrosted blueberry back in the day, the best Pop-Tart of all time. Get out of here with all your frosted, Pop-Tart takes. Give me a break. Come on. You can't be serious.
And no one from Notre Dame will ever know that, Williams. Yeah. No one from Notre Dame will know that. No, they won't.
But yeah, you can't be serious with this absolute clown show, what they put on the week in and week out with this selection show. It's not even a show. It's an SEC Invitational. That's what it should be called. Get out.
To be honest, Williams, I'm a toaster strudel guy.
Toaster strudel. Yeah, toaster strudels are pretty good too.
My father, the inventor of toaster strudel, would be very unhappy to hear that. You guys know some Mean Girls? Come on, tell me somebody got that from Mean Girls. All right, that's enough college football talk. College football is such an absolute cesspool that we could sit here and debate about this for hours. So let's move. Oh, actually, you know what though, Chris, you're right. We should give some love to the Hoosiers. We owe that to them. We're in the state of Indiana. Everybody counted them out, including me, and they went and they got it done. Chris, how you feeling about your Hoosiers?
Feel like I'm living in like an alternate universe, right, Rod? Indiana is 13-0, and we went against Ohio State and manhandled their offensive line. Ohio State is known for offensive linemen, and an Indiana defense manhandled their offensive line. Still in shock, but I'm loving every second of it.
And Williams, we made a joke with all of our friends that they are missing out by not listening to this podcast. And you specifically gave out the play that ended up working out huge for the Hoosiers and winning them that game. Again, people, the football handicapper knows of what he speaks.
I thank God that happened, man. If anything that was going to happen good this week, it was I wanted Indiana to win that Big Ten championship. Look, Chris mentioned it there. They held Ohio State. The big bad bullies on the block held them to 58 rushing yards. That's the least amount of rushing yards the Buckeyes have rushed for in what? What are you going to guess? Like 6 weeks? You're going to guess a couple years? No,
14.
14 years since that has been done to Ohio State team. The first 2 years of a college football coaching job. It's the best in NCAA history. Nobody has ever been close to doing this before by Coach Signetti. We love him. And you're right, Rod. College football is an absolute cesspool. The only thing good about college football is Sigs. Coach Signetti, the Hoosier Godfather. He is saving college football this year.
Jimmy Jam, who's going to play Coach Sig in the movie that they make someday, right? Like, who's going to play Coach Signetti in the movie that they make someday here, right? Because, I mean, he's just an absolute magnetic, charismatic character at the center of a movie, underdog story, right? We got the James Madison days. We got going to IU. We got the montage of everybody saying that they're not real. We got the first part of the movie where they can lose last year to Ohio State and Notre Dame, and then we got them coming back this year, huh? Come on, it's a movie, Jimmy Jam.
Brian Dennehy around still? He was Bob Knight, so
nice.
He can come back, and I don't think he's run. Real quick, though, I do want to say the entire state of Indiana stopped when Fernando Mendoza got hit. And like everything that you ever thought in your life came into your head. But what did Indiana do? They said, nope, we got another one. We're bringing in the other Mendoza. An amazing quarterback he is. That interview afterwards, I love the interview. He's given those before and they're fun. He's got passion and I just love it. And what better way to end this college football crappy season than having number 1 and number 2 go at it for the national championship like they did in the Big Ten. Let's go. Let's do it again.
From your lips to God's ears, Jimmy Jam. But let's go
Rod, real quick. It's Colin Hanks. Colin Hanks plays Signetti because it's going to be made in 10 to 15 years. So he's going to be a little bit older. Colin Hanks.
Okay, I like that. That is an absolute excellent call. He's good with dramatic work, but he still has that little slight wry sense of humor that he gets from his dad, right? You want to root for him because you see the Tom Hanks eyes there. I love that, Chris. That is a stone cold solid call by you. A call that you will be making next week. I want to let everybody know, a little treat for those that are listening right now. We have a special show planned for Wednesday next week. We're going to do a Christmas movie draft. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of holiday cheer. It's me, Chris, Jimmy, Roberts, and Kate. Fun will be had. Make sure you tune in for that next Wednesday. But let's get to what we always normally talk about on this show. That is the face and heel of the week. Williams is going to get mad at a coach, and Chris is going to put somebody on the Leatherheads team. Jimmy, I think we're just going to start with you in the face of the week because that is the biggest story in football, one of the biggest stories in years. Dennis Quaid, anybody? Jimmy, who's the face of the week?
It's Phillip Rivers. It has to be. Good old number 17 coming on back. Rip that name off the back, put another one on. Gosh darn shucky D. After watching his press conference, I was ready to run through a wall for this guy. He is happy. He is I love everything about Phillip Rivers, and I really hope it goes well for him. I am scared half to death with the 4 teams that they still have to play, including the Seahawks this week. But he's got to be the face of the week. How can you not be rooting for him? That's awesome.
Phillip Rivers is the best Colts quarterback of like the last 8 years. It is exciting to see the bolo tie back. He is country strong. He has like 13 kids. So he literally has been in the backyard with 11 on 11, 11 on none, but he's got offensive linemen. He's got the tight end. He's running all the formations with the daughters and the sons. They're all out there doing it with the wife. Great stuff out of Phillip Rivers. We had no reason to watch the rest of the Colts season. Taylor Heineke, nobody's going to care about Taylor Heineke, but Phillip Rivers strolling into that building, you look at him, you pay attention. You know that, hey, this guy did it at one time. You think to yourself, maybe he doesn't have it anymore, but you're going to give him the respect and that shot to show you one time. So if he gets in this week versus Seattle, this is his chance to show that he's got a little bit left in the tank. Chris, you're a big old Colts fan. Where are you at with this?
I'm worried this is a gladiator situation. You know what I mean? Are we sending someone out to get slaughtered? Are we just watching to watch some like a train wreck happen? Like some people are worried that Steichen is committing murder right now. I mean, this is a grandpa we're talking about out there.
He's 46. 4, whatever he is, 44.
I mean, you're not wrong, Rod, right? You want to stay relevant like the Cowboys? You bring in Phillip Rivers to be your quarterback.
Williams. We were joking a little bit. Well, I mean, not joking because we were all bummed out when Danny Dimes went down. But, like, I was the first to go. I was like, well, I guess Taylor Heineke is the best undrafted free agent. And then Jimmy showed a picture of 17. I assumed that would be Foles because he's a little closer to maybe actually being able to play. I never in my wildest dreams thought it would be Phillip Rivers. God rest Mr. Irsay, his soul. But, I mean, this is like a Jeff Saturday type move. You got to love the Colts always staying interesting.
Yeah, and how about this? I don't know if you guys realize this, but remember the NFC Championship game 3 years ago when San Francisco played at Philly? I'm going to tie this in a bow here.
Yes.
Right before that, Jimmy G broke his leg. Trey Lance broke his ankle. Brock Purdy got hurt mid-game with his elbow. He couldn't throw the ball. Then Josh Johnson came in and got a concussion. If they somehow won that Philly game, they were going to go with guess who? Phillip Rivers in the Super Bowl. Unbelievable. That would have been wild. So yeah, he knows the Steichen playbook. I get it that he cannot move. So, and he's playing against Seattle. So he has to get the ball out quickly here. I expect a ton of JT. You got to have some misdirection. I'm intrigued by this. I mean, I feel so bad for the Colts, man. They went all in this year. They traded for Sauce. God, they already started out 8-2, and now all this.
They did what? What did they do this year, Williams? What happened? What are you talking about? They traded something? What happened?
All this darkness just came over the organization in the last few weeks.
Rod is humble.
I hate it. I hate it.
Listen, of course I never thought that, like, Danny Dimes was going to go down, you know what I mean, and that Sauce himself was going to be hurt for a couple weeks. Like, I wasn't wishing that upon the Colts, Jimmy, but I did think that we had such a thin line of possible success anyway. I just thought that, like, we were tipping the scales too far and that, like, the possibility for disaster was right there. And honestly, I'm excited as hell about the Bolo tie being back, but we're still right there on this being a possible disaster. We don't even have a quarterback next year. It's either going to be a hurt Danny Dimes or nothing. Riley Leonard, I guess. Let's go.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, even for next year, they're gonna sign Danny Dimes. I'm assuming it's going to be at a discount for sure. But how about Anthony Richardson? That eye going to be fixed next year? You never know. He's
I'm actually hearing people
are
saying his career might be done because, like, his eyesight might forever be altered. I'm hearing a little bit. So I mean, who knows? Feel bad for AR.
What is going on with the world?
It should not. All right. Because as Bears fans should know, one Jim McMahon had a fork stuck in his eye, and he could see perfectly well to lead them to a Super Bowl.
Well, I think Jim McMahon was doing some stuff that he didn't feel the fork in his eye. So
I think you're definitely right about that. But listen, we're excited about the Bolo tie. We will definitely check back in on what Rivers did last week. But Jimmy, if there's a face, there's always a heel. Who's the heel?
All right, I'm sick and tired of it, Rod. This analytics, you're down 14 after you score. So I'm going to go for 2 now to get us down to 12 instead of you're down 15, go for 2 to get down to 13 instead of 4. Never do that. Kick the field goal. You're down 14, score again. You're okay. You don't have to then make a stupid decision on, hey, let's do this 2-point conversion where no one knows what they're actually doing. And Quinshon Judkins throws it to somebody random. It's Stefanski in this analytics stuff. I don't understand why you're down so much. You try to go for 2. That's ridiculous. You're even. Just kick the field goal. Because guess what? That would have tied the game if they would have kicked the field goal, the extra point beforehand. Rod, I'm talking a lot. I'm not saying much. Go ahead. I'm mad. I'm sorry.
You're mad. I think I know somebody else that's mad at old Kevin Stefanski. Instead of us sucking the oxygen out of the room, let's go to the man that is qualified to examine coaching decisions. Because I believe, you're serious? No, it doesn't have to do with Andy Reid. Sorry, we'll save that for the next time. But Williams, I know that you can at least tell us about this. What are you going to do? Shedeur Sanders has the game of his young NFL career, and you take him off the field for the 2-point conversion? What are you doing, Kevin Stefanski?
Man, the shelf life of a 2-time coach of the year in the NFL is short, evidently, because they can't wait to get this guy out of town. He did win 2 coaches of the years in the NFL. So, yeah, not ideal, but I get why you go for 2 when you initially are down by 14, but we don't even have to get into all that. But Shedeur, it would have been nice to have him on the field with how well he played, but it's Cleveland, man. Well, I don't even know. Are they going to have another top 5 pick along with the Titans, along with the Raiders, the Jets? I mean, at the bottom of the NFL, those bottom 5 teams are just atrocious.
Williams is just disgusted with the bottom of the NFL. Well, why Williams is disgusted? Let's just move it right over to Are You Serious? And it's going to be for a coach that doesn't often get thrown into this category. I'm intrigued here. What do you got for us, Williams? I know their team's not playing well, but how specifically is the man who loves nuggies involved?
Yeah, nobody is safe on this podcast, the head coaching wise, with me. So I know everybody wants to dance on Patrick Mahomes' grave, but I'm going to tell you why this season, Are You Serious? Andy Reid has been low-key really bad this year, guys. Why are you pivoting into the run? The last 5 weeks, he's tapered down the pass rates from 70% to 48%, which is not ideal. And by ideal, I mean not optimal at all. They aren't passing enough on first downs. They're giving away plays with their short runs up the middle, and he's using the wrong personnel also. He's still giving random carries to CEH in the year 2025. That should be a misdemeanor. And not far off from that is giving carries to Pacheco, who is not the same as he was in his rookie year. He's been extremely banged up over the last couple of years. And I know Kareem Hunt has a ton of touchdowns, but these are all from inside the 3-yard line. When Kareem Hunt gets carries outside the 5-yard line, he has a negative EPA. The running back that he should be playing more is rookie Brashard Smith. He had 1 carry in last week's game, ran for 7 yards, and he was never to be seen again. He had the highest receiving grade for any powerful running back in the draft, and Andy Reid refuses to give him touches. The rare instances that he is on the field, you can tell the offense has more burst with a better chance of an explosion play, which the Chiefs need drastically from the running game. But lastly, this is the biggest thing. The Sunday Night Football game versus Houston, your defense was dominating that second half. They gave your offense a chance to get back into the game, and they did. Chiefs came back and tied it at 10. Then you decide to go for it on 4th and 1 from your own 31 with 10 minutes left. Why? You do that versus good offenses, not versus good defenses. When Belichick first did this, he was the first coach to do this. It was the Sunday night game in Indy versus Manning. They could not stop Peyton all night. So late in the fourth quarter, he decided to go for it on 4th and 2 from inside the Pats' own 30. In essence, to keep the ball away from Peyton, they went for it, didn't get it, and then everyone lost their minds after that. It was the right decision then because you were attempting to keep one of the best offenses in the history of the game off the field. Go back to this last Sunday night, and Andy Reid tried to do this versus one of the best defenses in the league, while at the same time his own defense has been playing lights out and had the home crowd back into it. If you don't believe me, the previous 6 drives for Houston before Reid decided to go for it from his own 31 in a tie game with 10 minutes to go at home, here they are for the Texans. Punt, 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 and punt. And if you still don't think I'm right about this, Vegas, the sportsbooks, after the 3rd down play, had the Chiefs at minus 330 to win the game if they just punt it. They assumed that they were going to punt. Rod, you were asking about Mike Tomlin's future last week. Well, he's 53 years old. You were asking about John Harbaugh's future last week. He's 63 years old. No one is asking about Andy Reid's future. He's 67. He coached 14 years at Philly before things got stale. He is in his 13th year in KC. He also declined a running into the punter penalty so that he didn't have to go for it on 4th down and 5 from his own 49. I'm not saying anyone is going to fire Andy Reid. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm doing is pointing out that he's lost his fastball, and if he keeps coaching like this, then it's not going to give Patrick Mahomes the best chance to win another title. That's all I'm saying. Andy Reid just signed a 5-year contract for extension for $100 million. He's probably not going anywhere, but I'm telling you what, the interview on Sunday Night Football with Melissa Stark, it was not good body language from Andy Reid. And are you serious, Andy Reid? I know you can do better. Come on, let's go.
We just lost the entire Reid family as listeners to the podcast there after that one. But listen, you've got the evidence. You're backing it up. Chris, what I heard near the beginning of that caught my ear the most, and I want to throw to you, our resident conspiracy theorist on this podcast. Williams gave us the numbers there. It is drastic how much Andy Reid is not allowing Patrick Mahomes to throw the football in these last 5 weeks. Is he masking some kind of Patrick Mahomes injury? Does he have some sort of a rotator cuff? Is there something going on with Patrick Mahomes' shoulder and Andy Reid is masking it? Because Williams just laid it out there. They don't have the personnel to play the offense they're playing. So to me, the only explanation is they're hiding an injury, right? Come on, conspiracy theorists. What do you got for us?
So, Rod, you're not wrong. That is one option. And to me, it's the only other option other than Andy Reid is so old that he may be getting senile and thinks it's 1981 or 82 and this is high school and all you can do is run the football. I don't know.
I like that. You know what I like so much about that, Chris, is it sets me up so perfectly to say, speaking of old school 81 to 82 running the football, let's strap the leather helmets on and induct some new teammates. Let's go.
Yeah, and I will be upfront and honest. It's not necessarily because this guy had an old school type of performance. This is strictly to toot my own horn because I was on this guy preseason saying he was going to get offensive rookie of the year, and that's Shedeur Sanders. All right, he should have gotten a win this past week. He has finally solidified himself as the QB1, which really should have happened at the beginning of the year. He was by far the most talented quarterback they had on this roster. Definitely should have been playing much earlier than that. He could have had these types of games earlier in the season and made Cleveland even more competitive because earlier this year, Cleveland's defense wasn't giving up 160 yards to a guy like Pollard, right? I don't know if Pollard had 161 yards the whole season until Sunday. So
that's some old school cowboy hate coming up right there. That's unfair.
Right? Still, Shador Sanders, right? 300 plus yards, 3 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. I think the first time it's happened with a Browns quarterback since Bernie Kosar, maybe. Who knows? It's been a long
Shout
time.
out Bernie. Shout out Bernie. Here's the problem for Shador. He had a Joe Flacco ahead of him. All right. When you got a Joe Flacco ahead of you, unless you're Joe Burrow, you're not going to beat him out. All right. We've seen Joey Flax doing his thing the last couple of years. All right. When you get your chance to have a Joe Flacco be the starting quarterback for your team, you take it, right? Heck, our Indianapolis Colts fell under this spell and had him quarterbacking for us for a little while. You know what I mean? What are you going to do with this guy? So I don't blame Shador, Chris. I like that you gave him a Leatherhead's honor, though. He's going to put that right up there on his mantle, and his brother will film him while he's putting it up on the mantle because the Sanders family puts everything on social media. Dion will probably weigh in now. Chris, that's good for us. You probably just got Dion weighing in on Shador winning a Leatherheads award.
Dion hasn't won.
There you go. You weren't giving out the Leatherheads award back when Dion played. All right, Williams, I'm looking at your against the spread picks here, okay? And I'm going to be frighteningly honest with you here. All right. That Andy Reid stuff was great, but it went on a little long. So you are not going to give us more than 30 seconds about this absolute turd bowl of Commanders versus Giants. All right. We need you to do 2 picks versus a spread. We want you to give out something if you've got the numbers to our good people out there, but we do not want to spend a lot of time on this turd bowl, William. So what do you got for us?
What? I am taking Washington plus 2.5 at the Giants. Let's get, how about this? EPA per dropback. Mariota, who is starting this week, has been better than Jaden Daniels this season. 10 percentage points higher of a success rate for Mariota over Daniels this season. And yards per attempt, Mariota is higher this season than Jaden Daniels. And 2 of Washington's top wide receivers are back in McLaurin and Noah Brown. The Giants defense, who I've been completely wrong with this year, I thought they were going to be good, still poor against the run. The Commanders have found a little run game recently with Chris Rodriguez. Giants still 29th in DVOA on D. And this is my favorite stat. Dog off a shutout. I love ugly dogs, and Washington got their ass whooped last week, did not score against the Vikings. Dog off a shutout, 62% against the spread since 2003, 48, 29, and 2. That's a 20% ROI. If the game is played post-October, you can add 2 percentage points to that against the spread winning percentage. And this is another home team coming off a bye, and the Giants playing a division game. I'll get to that in the other pick. But those teams, those home teams, are only covering on a 40% clip. So that's just another reason. Washington has covered their last 3 in this series. I don't think the Giants went dart taking off and running a ton the rest of the way. That limits the Giants' upside a bit on offense. There really is no home field advantage in this series. Washington is used to playing in the cold outside at 1 o'clock. And guess what? That's what this game is going to be. Give me Washington plus 2.5 on Sunday.
Rod is so excited that he muted himself. That was a great job, Williams. That was very succinct. Going to be a crappy game, but very succinct.
Jimmy, you know me entirely too well. That's basically exactly what I said. I was like, I think that was about 45 seconds, but that was really, really good by Williams, giving out the good points there, giving everybody the reasons why they should make that play. And we got maybe the biggest game being played in New England since Thomas Brady was quarterbacking that team, since Chris's favorite Bill Belichick was coaching that team. Bills v. Pats. Williams, what do you got for us?
Yeah, I like Buffalo in this spot, -1, -110 on MGM. Josh Allen as a dog or a favorite of less than 3 points. He's 30, 14, and 2 against the spread. Only Brady and Breeze have been more profitable in those situations. He's 18, 8, and 2 against the spread on the road, 19 and 7 against the spread when the spread is under 3 in either direction. That's 73% when the game is basically just a coin flip game, which is obviously outstanding. And if there's any snow, like the forecast says there might be, we saw it last week. Allen is absolutely as good as it gets in the snow. You're gonna hear talk about Vrabel off a bye at home. He's 6-0 in his career for New England, but one of those was a weird Tuesday night COVID spot. There was another one when they went up against Taylor Heineke. Shout out Taylor Heineke. We've thrown his name out 2 times in the pod tonight, and then another one was against rookie Trevor Lawrence. So that 6-0 isn't as good as one would think. And over the last 10 years, we touched on this in the last breakdown, the market has overvalued home teams coming off a bye playing inside their own division because those teams have only covered at a 40% clip against the spread, going against both those and both these picks this week. I think there's some regression coming for this Pats team. They are number one in fourth down conversion rate, in large part because they played the easiest schedule in the league. They're number one in EPA on fourth downs. Their opponents have converted fourth downs at the third lowest rate. I mean, they've had 15 fumbles. They've only lost 7 of those. Meanwhile, they've recovered 70% of their opponent's fumbles. Pats are 24th in red zone touchdown percentage on offense. The Bills are 9th in that category. And the Pats are dead last in red zone touchdown percentage allowed. And since the Pats' run D has lost big defensive tackle Milton Williams, they've been first-ranked rush defense in the league. So the first time these teams played, the Bills had 3 turnovers, 11 penalties, and the Pats walked it off with a 50-yard field goal. So I think the Bills get revenge here. Give me Buffalo -1 on Sunday.
James Thomas, I'm going to come to you this way. On our fast break show, when we get a little later into the NBA season, we will start unveiling the MVP table. We will talk about who has seats at the table. Actually, the NBA is probably already solidified that there's only going to be 4 seats at that table, but we'll get there. This game, Drake May v. Josh Allen. You're hearing a lot of Vegas odds having both of these guys up near the top. Do you think whoever wins this game can win MVP?
Yeah, I 100% do. Drake May, last time I checked, second year, but just amazing at what he's been doing. And the Patriots are so much better than anyone thought they were going to be. So yeah, I think if they beat the Bills again, he is going to be your front runner for MVP. Now, Allen, if he wins here, he's going to be the front runner moving forward, no matter what there. But I think May has a shot.
Chris, I'm interested to come to you on this because I have expressed that I don't necessarily feel myself having as much hatred toward the Patriots as I used to. It was clear to me that I hated Tom Brady. It was clear to me that I hated Belichick. It was clear to me that I just hated the Pats because they beat the Colts. And since they don't really factor against one another that way these past couple of years, I kind of begrudgingly respect a little bit of what New England's doing this year, but I suspect you feel different.
They didn't suffer long enough, Rod.
That's a good point.
That's the problem, right? I mean, you had 2 decades. You need to come right back after a few years off, right? You had to come right back, be this good and this likable for some reason, right? I'm sorry, Rod. I feel exactly for the Patriots that you do the Thunder, right? I'm sorry. It's annoying. They have a weak schedule. It gives me the ick. I know.
Listen, that's why we have you on this podcast, my man. You are through and through with all of it. All right, there's our against the spread picks. Last week was an absolute bloodbath in the Survivor game. All of us lost our Survivor pick, making me still the most frequented death in the Survivor pool all year. So basically, I'm saying you should not follow any of my Survivor picks. I'm terrible. I lost last week. I've lost more times than anybody else. But I'm going to make a Survivor pick this week that gives me a chance to stand on my soapbox and crow to the world. I am pro Mike Tomlin, and the world was at his doorstep. The world was throwing rocks at him. The world had him fired. He was gone. The Steelers were toast. Why would they even bother playing the rest of the games? Don't show up to the stadium, folks. It's over and done with in Pittsburgh. Somebody said, and that somebody was Mike Tomlin, rallied the troops, fired them up, got him a big victory. Looks like they're going to be in the playoffs. Once again, sorry, Steelers fans. I know you don't want to be in the playoffs, but Mike Tomlin doesn't know anything other than just sneaking into the playoffs by the skin of his teeth. So my pick this week is Steelers over Dolphins.
Hey, and real quick before we get to the other picks, under Tomlin, when the Steelers don't turn the ball over, they are 39-5 straight up. 37-7 against the spread. And since 2005, when the line is 3 points or more in that Ravens-Steelers game, the underdog is 26-5 against the spread. Last thing, Rod, you didn't even know this. Next week, the Dolphins come in on Monday night to take on the Steelers. Tomlin on Monday night, can you believe this? 22-1 straight up.
Let's go. Let's go. Sorry, Yinzers. You're getting Mike Tomlin for another year. That's my Survivor pick. Williams, what do you got?
I am going to go with the other team from that state, and the team that just killed you last week. And I hate to do it, but the Raiders are so bad. Give me Philly.
Yeah, I can't believe I picked the Eagles and they lost. Like, I like nothing about the Philly team, and then I picked them and they lost me for Survivor. Goodness gracious. Jimmy Jam, The streak is over. How are you dealing?
Yes. I'm obviously, you heard I'm mad at the Browns because I picked the Browns to win. I'm actually going to let Chris go because I've taken like Chris's picks 5 weeks in a row. Chris, you go, and then I'll pick out.
No, Jimmy. You don't decide how things go around here. Okay, this is the Morgan podcast. You don't get it when I throw to you to answer. You don't get to just divert and throw to somebody else. All right.
Yeah, but I can mute him because
Jimmy, you can edit that rant from Rod out in post. No one will hear that.
Was I on
Except
mute for that?
No,
I'm picking the Cowboys. I've got
no, you were not on mute for that.
I'm picking the Cowboys over the Vikings. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to destroy the Vikings because the Vikings, last time I checked, are not a good football team. Good defense, but the offense on the Cowboys is so much better. So we're going to go with the Dallas Cowboys.
That's what you
Chris,
get,
I didn't
Chris.
pick the Cowboys, did I?
That's what you get for being so mean to me, Chris. You go last, and hopefully Jimmy took your pick.
No, because I've already picked the Cowboys and I lost with
Thank
them,
God.
so that's how it goes. I like chaos. I think the NFC South is chaos. I'm going to pick the Saints over the Panthers.
Whoa!
I really thought you were going to pick the Falcons over the Bucks that are playing tonight. But anyway, yeah. Hey, listen, the Saints didn't look too bad. Listen.
We see teams that are supposed to lose end up winning every single week. I think this is the game.
We are pro mother shuckers on this podcast. Let's go, Tyler Shuck. Williams, what's the wins league at?
Yeah, it gets even tighter. We had Jimmy for the 13th week in a row either get 2 or 3 right. He got 2 this week, so his total is up to 37. We had Rod coming off a really good week last week, but he only got 3 in week 14, so your total is up to 54. I had an average week. I got 4 right. I'm up to 59. Chris had the best week. He got 5. He is on my tails now. He's got 57. So it's coming down to the wire these last 4 weeks. And I believe my prediction for Chris was 57 all year. So if Chris just gets one more win the next 4 weeks, he will surpass my prediction for him.
Nice.
Did you have Jimmy at less than 40
I
in
did.
your wins projection?
I did not. I had Jimmy at like 64. So this is just insane.
Hey, we got 4 weeks left, boys.
There we go.
I still
Jimmy's
can't
gonna
get to
30
64.
wins somehow.
I literally still can't. I can't get to 64. I can't. I have 4 weeks left. I can't do it.
You definitely cannot, Jimmy. But you know what you can do? You can talk some wrestling with the best of them. And we are about to do that on the other side. After we say goodbye to our football handicapper, Mr. Williams, we will have one more show for you next week ahead of Christmas. But like I said, we're also coming at you Wednesday next week. Tune in.
Welcome to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Know's podcasting network. In the ring with Jimmy, Chris, and Rod. Friday night, SmackDown Live. It was LA Knight against Gunther for the right to face John Cena. And that is the last good thing, his entrance, that happened to LA Knight. Because LA Knight on Monday was destroyed, Chris. I know you're feeling it. I know your heart is heavy.
I'm going to tell you what, I have seen, except for maybe one exception, guys that end up getting these horrible tsunamis from Bronson Reed end up with belts on their waist, gentlemen. We've seen it with Rollins, we've seen it with Punk, and now we're going to see it with Knight. I have never been happier. It means we're going to see this push, and we're going to get some gold around LA Knight's waist. Let's go.
Rod, he's cute, isn't he?
He's learning. He's learning. He's
Yeah.
trying to do anything he can to make him feel better. And I appreciate that, right? The fandom in him has to be the strongest part for Chris. So for that fandom part to shine brightly for LA Knight, he has to tell himself lies. And I appreciate that. I like the stats, but stats don't really mean anything in wrestling, Jimmy. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. I think Knight will be out
Patterns,
for a little
though,
while.
patterns do matter in wrestling. Because why else do we see a influx of roll-ups all of a sudden or super kicks? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying patterns.
Who is the masked man is another question. And no, we're not talking about podcasts from the Ringer. We are talking about the person or persons who came in at Survivor Series and twice on Raw. Rod, who is someone you think it might be?
Like a little bit of chatter that I've seen that what we are seeing is multiple individuals, and I won't give away multiple names here. I'll allow you guys to have a name. But I like the idea that these are multiple individuals who are forming a faction in the likeness of the Vision. Seth Rollins is putting together some troops to come back and fight against the Vision that threw him out so dastardly. And one of the people that I believe he is recruiting for this new version of his Vision is Montez.
I really like that a lot because Montez Ford has everything you really want in a WWE superstar. He's got good mic skills. He's got a terrific look, and he's an amazing wrestler. I mean, I don't understand why he hasn't been able to go to that next level over the past few years. Now, we don't know what the behind the scenes are. Who knows? We just see what's in front of the camera. But, Chris, I think Montez Ford is a pretty good guess there, don't you think?
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of this being a Seth Rollins faction. Makes perfect sense to me now. I guess that's why you guys are the experts and I'm the novice, right? But I love that, right? Make these guys come out, stomp like Rollins, so it makes perfect sense. I am 100% behind if Montez Ford wants to join up with the Revolutionary and Rollins' new crew. I think that makes it a lot more likely that Austin Theory is probably going to be involved with this crew as well. And I'm sure some other people, maybe Pete Dunne, is that right? Maybe, or did he get cut? I'm not sure.
He could be. He's El Grande Americano, but he could be.
I was
He
saying,
could
we
have been
got
somebody.
plenty
How
of
dare
people.
you? How dare you break up the El Grande family, Chris?
I thought El Grande Americano and his family were Latino Americans. I'm not sure who or why Pete Dunne would be one of those guys because I thought he was from across the pond. That being said, I think that's a great idea. Like, give me more of that. Give me more guys in mask that could be anybody. I love it.
Yeah, I think those are both pretty good guesses there as well. I think Ricky Saints could be somebody in NXT. He was the champion, just lost to Femi. What are they going to do with him moving forward? That could be somebody. I really don't want it to be Rollins. It doesn't make any sense for it to be Rollins. You would think he would come back and try to stop the Vision. You know, that happens so quickly that you even forget, oh, yeah, that's right. They did destroy Seth Rollins, so he's going to be mad. I really like the idea of him coming back with some kind of a faction and Montez Ford being a part of that. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a really good idea. We have the last Saturday night's main event, gentlemen. And by that, I mean the last match for John Cena and Gunther. There's a lot of rumors that John Cena and Gunther is going to start the show off. I would highly advise against that for every reason known to man, because the second that ends and the probably 30-minute goodbye, people are going to be exhausted and they're going to probably put the women's championship match after that, right? I loved Gunther's promo. I thought that saying he's going to make him quit like he's never done before except for 3 times, but that's okay. It was a long time ago. I do like that angle of Rod. I'm going to make him quit. I'm not going to pin him because there'll be times for me to pin him, but I'm not going to. I want to make him say I quit.
As he was cutting that promo, all I could feel for myself was scorn, Jimmy. Scorn. Because it's absolutely perfect, right? Like, we talked about it forever. Who's Cena going to fight at the end, right? And once he ditched the heel Cena and came back to being the John Cena that we all know and love, we should have known right then and there the only way that the John Cena character that he has created and cultivated and we all love over the years, the only way for him to go out is when he can no longer do it, when he has to quit, when he has to submit. He finally has come up against someone that can out-wrestle him and just outlast him and beats John Cena. It's absolutely perfect.
Chris.
As happy as I said I was about LA Knight on track to getting gold around his waist, I still think LA Knight benefits more than a Gunther by getting over John Cena.
Well, that's assuming that Gunther's going to beat John Cena. I don't think he's going to. I think John Cena's going to win. I think it's very obvious that Gunther's going to he's going to have a pin. 1, 2. He's going to pick Cena up. And he might do that a couple times. And Cena obviously will be in the Gunther's new move that he does. But Cena's going to win. And this place is going to go just crazy, which is why, Rod, it has to be the last match on the show. You're muted again, but that's okay. We love you.
If they have that start then the only thing that I want to see happen after John Cena's goodbye is Nikki Bella's music hits again. That's the only thing that I want to see happen if they start the show out with John Cena. I need Nikki Bella's music again. And for her to walk out and look at the camera and go, what? Again?
And Stephanie McCurr comes like, are you serious? I love wrestling. I love wrestling. Are you serious?
Yes, I'm champion.
We do have, though, some intriguing matchups. There's a 4-match card, which means that Cena thing is going to take forever, right? And they're going to have a lot of video packages in between, and that's cool. I think that's fine. We have Bayley against Sol Ruca. Chris, have you ever seen Sol Ruca wrestle before?
Yes.
Yeah, she's been on TV.
Oh, that's right. She was on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a tag team deal.
Yeah, I think this has the potential to be a very good match because Bayley has something to prove. Bayley's been kind of thrown to the side again and again and again. Sol Ruca's awesome in the ring. So was Bayley. I'm looking forward to this. I think it'll be a good matchup.
That's Bayley's character. Like, basically, Bayley's character is being thrown to the side. Like, if Bayley's not being thrown to the side and not being paid attention to and essentially seeming like she's not getting the respect she deserves, she doesn't have any character whatsoever other than having multiple personalities, I guess, which we have also seemed to dispatch with. So
yeah, we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we've got the lodestone thing, right? Like, that seems to be popping off on Twitter. Where Bayley seems to be getting involved more with like trying to coach up the young talent stuff and all like that. So yeah, you're right, Jimmy. This is going to be a banger of a match, but I worry about its placement. I really do.
Chris, if you had a finishing move, I'd call it the Soul Snatcher. So I like that. I like that finishing move for Sol Ruca.
That's a good name. That's a really good name.
We have the tag team championships, AJ Lee, Styles, and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Again, I think this is going to be a fast-moving, high-flying matchup. Javon Evans is going to do something insane. AJ Styles just continues, I think, Rod having fun with this tag team run, and I expect the belts to stay with Styles and Lee.
Can we stop firing the Javon Evans gun, though? I mean, can we please? Like, I'm not against him, you know what I mean? But, like, how many different spots are we going to continue to give to Javon Evans? Like, if you want this guy to continue wrestling against your SmackDown or Raw roster, then just bring the dude up, for goodness gracious sakes. Like, what are we doing here?
Oh, and by the way, it's an exhibition. The titles aren't on the line.
This is John Cena's doing. He put it and wanted to stipulate that he get a lot of NXT people into this Saturday night's main event. That's why Cody's fighting somebody, right? Isn't Cody fighting somebody?
Chris, if you've ever seen Femi, you would not just call him somebody, all right? Femi.
I mean, I did. I saw him for the first time on Raw, right? I saw him in the locker room.
Gigantic. No, look
at
face
to face. You wouldn't just call him somebody. You would be like, "Hey, somebody."
Yeah, you're somebody.
I'd be like, "Hey, dude," just like I do anybody else.
It's a little wild and a little strange when you make your home out on the range.
There you go.
Shout out, Mr. Ernst. Melody. I can go through every episode right now if you want me to.
I love that you got "Hey Dude" right away, Jimmy. I knew that you would too. I'm sorry, I distracted us with "Hey Dude" thoughts there.
Whatever. Yeah,
Ted Stiller's wife, early in her career.
Yep. Cody Rhodes and Femi for nothing, but both are world champions. Listen, this is going to be interesting.
I dislike this.
You dislike it.
Yeah,
okay.
Because Cody's not going to lose. Cody never loses. So you got Femi. No, he's not. Cody's going to lose. He's not going to lose Femi. Femi's an absolute giant. You just gave him the NXT belt again. Took down Ricky Saints, who you said it yourself. We're trying to make something. So Femi's a big deal. And immediately, you're just going to have him get beat by Cody Rhodes. Somebody's like half his size. I don't like it. You know me, Jimmy. I worry about size and stuff like that probably too often, but I just don't like that you're going to have somebody who's an absolute human truck in Femi get beat by Cody Rhodes and his neck tattoo.
I don't know if Cody's going to lose. I definitely don't think Cody's going to win. He's going to end up getting disqualified. He's becoming unhinged, Rod. All right. Cody is about ready to lose it. He's attacking people in their cars for no reason. He is losing it. He is
for no
unhinged,
reason.
Right?
Drew McIntyre's giving him no reason whatsoever to want to be mad at him.
I mean,
homer.
Drew was trying to leave the scene. He wasn't trying to
leave the scene, Chris.
Yeah, that's all he was trying to do was leave. Right? That's what you're supposed to do when there's issues. You leave and take yourself out of the situation.
Why did he come in the first place? If he's suspended, why does he even bother coming in the first place?
I mean, the WWE still makes his paychecks, and like he maybe he was part of the ring crew. Like, listen, there's a lot
ring crew. Drew's helping him set up. That's part of his suspension.
I'm just saying, you never know.
Oh, you know. So before we leave, John Cena has done a ton of interviews over the past couple weeks. Rod on our one of our favorites, Bill Simmons' podcast. He did a 90-minute interview, and I just want to thank John and Bill for that because I had a 5-hour drive this weekend. I enjoyed every second of that interview. I thought it was terrific. Anything that I'm sure you listened to, and anything that stood out to you?
You know, I worry with Cena interviews sometimes because, like, I still say to myself, do you really think that? Or are you like saying that because you're kind of playing the character of John Cena? But then I still always ask myself, like, is that really John Cena? You know what I mean? So like, I just so often during that interview, right? Because Cena plays it a little differently than Cody Rhodes does, right? Like Cody's a little more like,
he also talks very quiet, very quiet.
But like the door's a little more open for Cody Rhodes, right? Like he's not going to show you all of the magic, but he's going to talk to you a little bit more realistically about what the business is, right? John Cena is going to talk about it in like these grandiose, like, you know what I mean, energy and, you know what I mean? And like that stuff gets a little annoying to me at times, but like it is cool that like he's willing to sit down and try to explain what all of this means to him. You know what I mean? It's fun that the WWE's allowed somebody to go out this way because we've talked about it before. Not a lot of guys get this kind of a send off in their wrestling careers.
Chris, did you get a chance to listen to any of that or any interviews?
Yeah, I've been able to listen to some of it, not near the entire 90 minutes, of course. And it's also where I heard him talk about bringing up these fighters from NXT to be in this event.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. But then again, too, he asked him, well, so why wasn't the last one in Boston? And he's like, well, maybe he wasn't available. Things changed. No, because Washington, D.C. paid for more of it than Boston did. But I did like it. It wasn't in the Simmons interview, but in another interview, he basically said that the Styles match was always planned, and they just did the internet thing to create the story there. I really enjoyed his one-word answers for some of the wrestlers or one-sentence wrestler interviews. Namely, AJ Styles said, best to do it, best ever. And he goes, Sean's going to be mad about that, but he is. And I think that's pretty cool that he said that about AJ Styles, really putting him over. I also love that. I'm not sure about AJ Styles. I've not really ever been a Shawn Michaels is the best ever person. I've never been that. But I mean, I'm also the one who put Jericho on Mount Rushmore. Okay. So
see, I love that you brought it up before I did. Because you know I was about to go there.
I knew you're like Jericho.
We can't all do the lion salt, Jimmy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, darn right. Sweet Chin music is a tough one too, Rod. Let me tell you, that's a tough.
See, get out of here. Nobody sells like Michaels. See, that's what it is. Nobody sells like Michaels.
True.
Right? See, it's the whole business, Jimmy. Nobody sells like Michaels. Nobody'd be able to get over a stupid theme song as much as Michaels did, right? Like, it's everything about Shawn. Come on, he changed the business. Like, if it wasn't for Shawn doing his athletic moves, we'd still see guys lumbering around doing nothing but big kicks and clotheslines. Like, all hail Shawn Michaels.
And with that, you've been listening to the Yeah We Know podcast, part of the More You Knows podcast network. You're in the ring with Jimmy, Rod, and the sexy boy,
And
Chris.
Jimmy, don't think I don't know what you're doing here, bringing up Chris Jericho. You saw his Instagram feed just like I did with the Y2J countdown being played on there. You are desperate for old man Jericho to come back to WWE.
I am so desperate.
Undertaker's the true GOAT. Goodbye, net. Yeah.
But like
Mark
not
Calloway.
in the ring though. We're talking
Like of the locker
in
room
ring work.
Sure, but
Yeah. Like
I mean,
of
how many
dead
tombstones
people,
can a guy
yes.
do, Chris? Shawn Michaels could have done the
He
tombstone.
transcends wrestling. He has
Shawn Michaels
a
could have done
How
the
many times
monster
did you
truck.
tombstone.
bury your brother, Chris? How many times?
A
Yeah.
lot, apparently. I mean, he rose from the dead himself. We saw that. He came out of that casket. He came
Where
out of
would
that
Undertaker
grave.
be without Paul Bear? That's the question you have to ask yourself.
I mean, where would Roman Reigns be without Paul Heyman?
He'd still be the big dog in the yard. Nobody would care.
I was going to say they were pushing him. Hey, if they were pushing him in main events even before Paul Heyman was around.
They were.
Yeah, we're going to go now. Sorry.
That's always the best stuff.
Let's keep it going. It's fine.
Bye, Net.